Imagine Europe in the 1700s, kings and queens, fancy palaces, and lots of people fighting for power. It was a time of great intrigue and shifting alliances. But in the midst of all this, a powerful woman emerged, not a queen herself, but someone who pulled the strings from behind the scenes, orchestrating events with precision. Her name was Elizabeth Farnese, and her story is nothing short of amazing and inspiring. Born into a powerful family, Elizabeth was smart and ambitious, always eager to learn and grow. She learned early on how things really worked in the royal courts, observing and understanding the dynamics of power. She learned that real power wasn't always about wearing a crown, but about knowing how to influence the people who did, mastering the art of persuasion. Elizabeth's story shows how a woman could be powerful even in a world ruled by men, breaking barriers and defying expectations. She was clever and determined, proving that you don't need to be a queen to change the world, just the right strategy and resolve. She knew knowledge was power, so she learned everything she could about politics, strategy, and how to get what she wanted, always staying one step ahead. Elizabeth Farnese was a major player in European power, even without a throne, influencing decisions and shaping history. Her marriage to Philip V of Spain was a strategic move that solidified her influence, making her a key figure in the Spanish court. As a mother, she ensured her children were positioned to inherit power, further extending her reach and securing her legacy. Elizabeth was not just a consort, she was an advisor and a strategist, shaping the policies of Spain with her keen insight. Even in her later years, Elizabeth remained a formidable force, her legacy enduring long after her time, influencing generations to come. Through her letters and actions, she left a lasting impact on European history, proving that true power often lies behind the throne, in the hands of those who understand its true nature. The year is 1714, a time of great change and uncertainty. Europe is still recovering from a big war, with towns and cities slowly rebuilding. And in Spain, the king Philip V needs a new wife to secure his lineage. He chooses Elizabeth Farnese. It was supposed to be a simple marriage to make sure the royal family continued, but Elizabeth had other plans, grander plans. Elizabeth saw this marriage as a chance to get what she wanted, a stepping stone to power. She was very intelligent, unlike her sad king, and she quickly took control of the court. The Spanish court, used to listening to the king, now listened to the queen, who commanded respect. Elizabeth was witty and sharp, and she knew how to convince people to do what she wanted, using her charm and intellect. But Elizabeth wasn't just interested in Spain. Her ambitions were much broader. She wanted to make her own family powerful again, elevating them to new heights. And she dreamed of her sons ruling not just Spain, but other countries too, expanding their influence. Elizabeth's ambitions extended beyond the borders of Spain, reaching into the heart of Europe. She formed alliances and navigated the complex European political landscape with skill and determination. Her ultimate goal was to see her sons on the thrones of Europe, securing her legacy and ensuring their dominance. Elizabeth Farnese, the Shadow Queen, left an indelible mark on European history, shaping its future. The war had changed Europe dramatically, and Elizabeth saw this as a golden opportunity to expand her influence. Spain had lost some of its valuable land in Italy, and Elizabeth was determined to reclaim it for her own ambitions. But the powerful Habsburg family, who ruled a significant portion of Europe, stood in her way. Elizabeth was ready to play the intricate game of power and politics. She knew she needed to make strategic alliances, use her enemies against each other, and be exceptionally clever. She wanted Italy back, and she meticulously crafted a plan to get it. She sent persuasive messages to other rulers, promising them great rewards and threatening them with dire consequences if they didn't support her. She had spies everywhere, so she always knew what was happening in the shadows. It was a risky game of strategy and deception, but Elizabeth was willing to take the risk, no matter the cost. She navigated the royal courts with unparalleled skill, consulting with her trusted advisors and planning every move with precision. She even coordinated with military leaders to ensure her plans had the necessary support and strength. Secret meetings and clandestine operations became her essential tools. Elizabeth's ambition knew no bounds, and she was determined to reshape Europe according to her vision. She was a force to be reckoned with, and her Game of Thrones was just beginning, setting the stage for a new era. Elizabeth wasn't just ambitious for herself. She wanted her sons to be powerful rulers. She made plans and worked hard to make sure they would be kings, not just in name, but in reality. She made alliances, signed treaties, and even went to war to make sure her sons had a future as rulers. Her legacy isn't just her own story, but the powerful families she helped create. Elizabeth's influence extended beyond Spain, reaching into Italy and other parts of Europe. She was a master of diplomacy, using her intelligence and charm to navigate the complex world of European politics. Through letters and negotiations, she secured advantageous marriages for her children, further solidifying their power. Elizabeth Farnese's determination and strategic mind ensured that her sons would not only inherit thrones but also wield real power. Elizabeth wasn't just a queen, she was a brilliant strategist. In a dangerous time, she made smart decisions. She chose her allies carefully and used diplomacy and clever tricks to keep her enemies away. During her time as queen, Spain started to become stronger and richer. Elizabeth's ability to see what was coming and change her plans accordingly made sure she would be remembered for a long time. Her strategic maneuvers not only secured her position but also strengthened Spain's influence in Europe. Elizabeth's legacy as a master strategist is still studied and admired today. As time went on, Elizabeth's power grew beyond Spain. Her clever plans and alliances started to change the royal families of Europe. She used smart talking and a good understanding of power to make Spain a major force in Europe. Elizabeth's influence extended through her children, who married into various European royal families, further solidifying her impact. Her strategic marriages and alliances ensured that her descendants held significant power across Europe. Elizabeth's legacy was not just in Spain but spread across the continent, shaping the political landscape of Europe for generations. Her ability to navigate the complex web of European politics made her one of the most influential figures of her time. Even in her final years, Elizabeth's influence was felt, and her legacy continues to be recognized in modern European history. Elizabeth used clever tricks to keep her throne and her country safe. From dealing with enemies to having spies everywhere, Elizabeth was amazing at ruling. She was incredibly good at outsmarting her enemies and staying in control. She often communicated through secret letters and messages, ensuring that her plans were always a step ahead. Her strategic mind was evident in her ability to foresee and counter threats. Elizabeth's reign was marked by her intelligence and cunning, which led to numerous victories and a stable rule. Her legacy as a master tactician remains influential to this day. Elizabeth also loved art and music. During her time as queen, writers, actors, and musicians became famous. Her support for the arts made her court a vibrant and lively place. She created a cultural legacy that continues to influence us today. Elizabeth's patronage extended to various forms of art, leaving a lasting impact. Elizabeth's rule changed Europe forever. Her skill in politics and her achievements at home made Spain a powerful country. We can still see the impact of her rule today. Her influence extended beyond her lifetime, shaping the course of European history and leaving a legacy that endures in modern Spain. Gap 3S. Elizabeth Farnese's impact didn't stop when she was in charge. Her influence on European politics lasted a long time after she was gone. Her kids and grandkids became powerful people in royal courts all over Europe. For example, her son Charles became the King of Naples and Sicily, and then he became King of Spain, known as Charles III. When he was king, Spain went through big changes that made it more modern and powerful in the world. Her other son, Philip, the Duke of Parma, started a new Bourbon royal family in Italy. This made his family very powerful and also changed the culture and politics of the area. Elizabeth's descendants got married to important people, creating alliances that changed European politics for many years to come. These alliances decided who won wars, what was in treaties, and even what happened to entire countries. The effects of Elizabeth's smart plans can still be seen in European politics today, where her descendants are still important. Her story shows us how important intelligence, strategy, and ambition are in changing history. Stay tuned for the next part where we'll learn more about Elizabeth Farnese's amazing story. Welcome back, everyone. We've learned how clever Elizabeth Farnese was in politics, but what about her life outside of that? Elizabeth wasn't just a queen. She had lots of other interests. She really loved art and culture and supported them as Queen of Spain. She loved music, paintings, and books. She helped many artists and musicians, making the Spanish court a center of creativity. Because of her, Baroque art and architecture became very popular in Spain, and you can still see it today. Elizabeth also collected art and antiques, filling her palaces with famous masterpieces. She also cared about education and science, and she helped start schools and academies that made Spain smarter. Elizabeth was also a good mum and wife. She was smart and strategic in politics, but her letters show she was also kind, caring, and loved her family very much. Elizabeth Farnese's love of art and culture is another important part of her story. Stay tuned for the last part of our story, where we talk about how she changed modern Europe. Hey history fans, welcome back. As we wrap up our look at the amazing life of Elizabeth Farnese, let's take a moment to think about what she left behind. Elizabeth wasn't just any queen. She was a forward thinker. She understood the complicated world of European politics better than most people at the time. Her smart moves with marriages, alliances, and her never-give-up attitude got her children on the thrones of powerful countries. She even changed the map of Europe. She also loved art and education. Because of her, Spain had a golden age of beautiful art and buildings. We can still see those amazing things today. But besides all the political and artistic stuff, Elizabeth's story is inspiring. She was tough, smart, and always worked hard. Elizabeth Farnese's story shows us what you can do with smart planning and by never giving up. She shows us that even in a world ruled by kings and emperors, a queen with a sharp mind and a strong will can change everything. Thinking back on her life, let's remember what she taught us. She showed us how important it is to have goals, to care about art and culture, and how one person can change the world. Thanks for joining me on this journey through Elizabeth Farnese's life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so other people can learn about amazing people from history. Keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So we've been talking about Elizabeth Farnese, this amazing woman who had such a huge impact on 18th century Europe, but her story doesn't just end with her passing away. No way. Her influence, her legacy, it kept going, shaping politics and culture for centuries after she was gone. Think about it. Her kids and grandkids held important positions in royal courts all over Europe, and those smart marriages and alliances she arranged, they totally changed the game. Even now, historians are still studying her life, trying to figure out how power and influence really worked back then. It's pretty amazing, right? Elizabeth's story shows us just how powerful intelligence, good planning, and never giving up can be. It really makes you think. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories from history.